Hello! Welcome to another cosplay review. It's Twisted Wonderland again. This time it is Riddle Rosenheart, the house warden of Hartz-le-Bulle, in his dorm uniform. Yeah, let's just get into it. This cosplay is from Easy Cosplay. I found that there were not a lot of places that actually sold this cosplay. And of the ones that did sell it, there was not a lot that had any kind of custom sizing options or anything like that. So Easy is kind of your almost only bet for that. So let's just get into it. So just to start off, to say Easy's comes with so many pieces. They probably all do because of just like how the outfit is. But I'm going to try to speed run this a little bit. Otherwise it's going to take me 30 minutes. So this is the undershirt, frilly. It looks pretty good, nothing major complaints there. Other than these like frilly top pieces, you can replace this pretty easily if this doesn't work for you. Yep, there it is. Next up we have the main big piece. I really like that they actually put the proper fabric right here. It looks so good. You can see all the little symbols and everything. Really cute. The gold here doesn't look terrible. It does look a little cheap, but it doesn't look bad. The buttons are really nice that they have on it. They look very fancy. You kind of go down here. It needs to be steamed really badly. It's got a lot of wrinkles on it, but that's kind of to be expected. Riddle's like side parts here kind of defy gravity a little bit. Obviously they didn't put any horsehair or anything like that to try to replicate it, but it still looks pretty good. It's really heavy though. This whole cosplay is really heavy, which isn't always a huge deal, but if you are flying and you have like a weight limit on your suitcase, it maybe is something to keep in mind. I will be flying, so you know. Next up are the pants. Here they are. They look like pretty normal pants too, you know. Got this little red streak down them. They're like cosplay pants, and what I mean by cosplay pants is they're not going to be like the best pants ever, and they're not going to be the most flattering ever probably, but you know, they get the job done, so you can't complain too much. Also, here are his gloves. Nothing really crazy to say about these. I may or may not end up replacing these. I've always envisioned him to have more like leather type gloves, but I'll see how these ultimately end up looking. Okay, now for his smorgasbord of accessories. There's a lot of them. So here is his crown. It's actually not terrible. I did preemptively order another one that I hopefully will have in time to wear with, but honestly this is not bad. You could definitely get away with this. It's cute, and it's got a little clip there. It's just hot glued on, so, you know, be wary of that, but still, it looks pretty cute. So he's got, like, a lot of different patches, and they did not make them patches, but rather Velcro. So, or not Velcro, safety pins. So we've got this one, his little Hartz-le-Bulle, again, just a safety pin. His little H for probably Hartz-le-Bulle, but I'm not totally sure. Safety pin. You can see this one's got a little bit of a stain right there on the white. Not terrible, but it is there. Another one, the little Queen of Hearts. This one actually has a little bit of a 3D element to it, which is kind of cool. But again, safety pin. And then this is probably the saddest part. They made his little white rose. Just this sad little flat thing. I will probably buy like a white rose from like the dollar store and then kind of create that effect on it, but it probably actually doesn't look that bad when it's like you're viewing it from the front. It's just from the side, it's like, oh, it's sad. And then he has 2 hip roses, which they included. Once again, safety pin. This has kind of got just like hot glue to hold them on. His ropes that kind of go on his shoulder that are pretty much hidden, but here they are anyway. And then you can see they sent me a lot of safety pins to keep this on. So I am not looking forward to that disaster. I had something similar like this in Hey Show. and he was a pain, so hopefully I can figure this one out a little bit easier than I could him. This is his little neck piece. You can see it's got this cute little crown there. It's just velcroed together. Yeah, it's not bad. Sorry I'm speeding through this so fast. You kind of get the idea. The quality is just alright on everything. Nothing's like been spectacular so far, but it's all been like doable. Here is this that kind of goes like that. His little checkers. Again, Velcro. And his waistband. Once again, safety pin to keep it up, which seems to be the main thing for all of him. And then I've got one more thing, and then I will try it all on. Alright, so his half cloak has a lot of weight to it. Once again, the safety pin. Most of the others I think you can kind of get away with. I think this is going to be much too heavy, and it's going to kind of tug at the fabric in not a good way. So I'm probably going to have to replace the safety pins with like a button or something. But for the try-on, obviously, I'm just going to keep the safety pins, and maybe it'll work better than I think. Again, pretty hefty stuff, especially because it's going to be weighing on just one side of you. But overall it looks good. There's nothing on this white part to keep it kind of up, but his is also sort of flapped over, so I don't think that's a big deal or anything. So it's gonna take me a hot minute to get all of this on, but then I will get it on, and I hopefully will be able to talk a little bit more about things. I'm not sure. Let's find out. Alright, so here he is all actually on. So I'll do the usual, like start from the bottom, or start from the top and work my way down. So as you can see, the crown is fine. I don't think there's any major issues with the crown. My wig is completely unstyled, in case you couldn't already guess that. But yeah, no major issues with the crown. It seems to stay on okay. It seems to look okay. Nothing major there. Going down, the shirt underneath is fine. They also made it short sleeves. I forgot to mention that, which is really nice because this cosplay is unbearably hot, and that kind of adds like a little bit of something there. This actually is staying on better than I thought it would. I thought it would end up twisting a lot, but I think this kind of ends up holding it down. This is a tiny bit too big, but nothing terrible. This does actually end up looking a little bit goofy, so I do think this I will replace. This cloak, as you can see, is just bringing the entire cosplay down. Like, it's just like bringing it down. I think when I add the buttons, I think I'm actually gonna add the button here, like on the white shirt maybe, so that there's not as much room for it to fall, whereas this is just causing it to like tumble away. It's also just really uncomfortable feeling. It's a lot of weight on one shoulder. And then the gloves are awful. I have really long fingers, and there's so much room up here. So I was saying before that I might replace these. I will definitely replace these because these are awful. It doesn't fit like great. I could definitely stand to take it in a few places to make it form-fitting more. I don't know if I will or not, but it definitely could stand to have it if I have the time. I have a lot of work on other things, so I don't know if I'm gonna have the time for something like that. But if I could, then I would. There's the ropes. I actually managed to get those on pretty okay. No major hassle there, which is great. I feel like the patches look a little bit janky. Like, you can tell they're not patches. It's probably not something I'm gonna fix, but it is something to be aware of. The pants are okay. I just have like these regular black boots on right now, but they seem to be fine. They seem to get the job done, I guess. I feel like that's like most of what I'm saying with this cosplay, is that it does seem to like get the job done. You're not gonna be like turning any heads in it, I don't think. Like, it's just okay. Also, this might be solved if you're taller. This cape is bigger than me, so at the convention I have to hold it or have somebody else hold it or something. Otherwise people are gonna trip on it and step on it, and I'm gonna trip on it and step on it. So yeah, that's a thing. Overall, I mean, it's what the picture has, and I do think it's like wearable. You just maybe need to spruce some things up with it. But again, it's also just not like, wow, that is like a really nice Riddle or anything like that. Especially for the price range, I feel like it's a little pricey, but I also do understand that it comes with a lot of accessories. And with that many accessories, it's obviously going to drive the cost up a little bit more, because there's a lot of different things to make. Yeah, I honestly am having a bit of a hard time figuring out how to rate something like this. I instinctively want to kind of give it a low rating, but then I do remember that, you know, I've definitely had like unwearable cosplays, and this certainly isn't that. Like, it is wearable. It did arrive in pretty decent time too, which is always good. I'll probably end up giving this something like a 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. I don't know. I don't think there's anything horribly wrong with it. I also just think it's not like great either, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm really struggling with this one. I feel like usually if I have a cosplay that I'm not super into, I end up having a longer review, but this one, I feel so like meh about everything. Like, there's nothing I abhorrently hate other than like maybe this cloak, and that's just because it's really heavy and it's bothering me, but that's also Riddle's design and less to do with the cosplay itself. So I just end up feeling like everything is meh. I don't love anything about it, but I also just don't like really hate anything about it. The whole thing's just fine. It's a fine cosplay. I don't know. I'm sorry this review is so vague. I guess this would be a good Riddle cosplay for you if, of course, if you can't fit into the other Riddle sizing, which is usually available on AliExpress, and it's kind of hard to see. But then also, if you're okay with putting a little bit of work, honestly, that's kind of my opinion on easy cosplay in general. Kind of always need to put in like a little bit extra work with it. But yeah, I think that's gonna summarize my review. I wish there was more to say. I would say ask me a question about it in the comments, but I'm terrible at responding to comments, and I'm sorry. Well, thank you for watching. I wish I could have made that a little bit more exciting. Hopefully my future cosplay reviews will have at least something positive or negative that I can talk about. See you guys in the next review. Bye-bye!